Hi everyone, I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to this glorious Cape Cod day in this beautiful town of Sandwich, Massachusetts for another Cape Conversation. We've got a great guest today and I can't wait to talk to him. So come along, join me for a Cape Conversation. I am so excited because sitting next to me is one of the greatest people I have actually just met in Sandwich. And I was introduced to you through one of your classes, but this is Kevin Lasit. Kevin, how are you?
Honey, give me a hug and kiss. Right. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. So, first of all, you're new to Sandwich, relatively.
Yeah, fairly new.
Yeah.
My wife and I, my family, we moved from California.
Wow.
Northern California.
Wait a minute, culture shock.
Yeah, really. I mean,
and the ground doesn't move here normally.
No, yeah, I know. That earthquake was something.
Yeah, I know, I can imagine.
When it happened, I was like, wait a minute, this is not fair. I thought I escaped those.
As I was going to say.
But yeah, we've this September it's going to be it's been 3 years now since our trek over 3,000 miles.
Wow.
And we picked
Good
Sandwich.
For you guys.
You know, we loved it. We did research for about 3 to 4 years.
Wow.
And
of all the places in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my wife has, she had, digs and relatives in Yarmouthport.
Oh, is that right?
And so
okay.
early in our marriage, we would come out here every couple of summers and visit. And
so many people do that.
I fell in love with it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So now you've been here for 3 years. What are you doing? I mean, okay, so you were in California. What did you do in California? I mean, okay, so you were in California. You went, we don't like the lifestyle, or
yeah, well, California.
You were born out there.
I was born in California. Born and raised, and my wife and I lived in Fremont, California for about 12 years, and it got too violent for us. It was crime-riddled. 2 blocks away from where we live, a woman pushing her baby in a stroller was murdered at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And that was like a red light, a major red light for us that we had to make a choice. And we could have easily picked another place in California to live. I still have my brother and his 3 beautiful girls and my sister-in-law that live in Livermore, California.
Oh, sure, I know.
And we
Livermore is the middle of the wine country.
Yeah.
I was there.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
I went to Page Mill and
Page Mill.
all those wineries.
Yeah,
this
my
last
brother's
trip.
over there.
Is that right? It's a beautiful area. Dry, but beautiful.
It is. So we thought about. We even looked at areas in Livermore. But, we decided if we were going to make a move, we wanted our wish list, which included the beach, nature, a beautiful pond, several to choose from.
Yeah.
And like I said, my wife did research for about a good 3 to 4 years, and when it came time to it was a no-brainer. So we, in 2007, came out here and did a research trip.
Did you have your children then?
Yes, they were born in Walnut Creek, California.
They were? Yeah. Okay, all right.
So answer to your question, that's why we moved. It was just crime-riddled, and the compression, the violence, the crime, and we wanted more nature, better education.
Sure.
And as far as a living, I've been a part of the industry, the film industry and entertainment industry for 24 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I did
Are you card-carrying and everything?
Yeah, well, I'm a member of Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA.
Does that mean you get like the movies?
The screeners?
Screeners? They send you the screeners?
Yeah, they do, but you know what? I
was going to say,
they've been a little stingy the last couple of years, and not every movie sends them out. They only give a few, so I'm kind of upset about that.
Well, I think you could start your own Blockbuster.
Yeah, I know, really. But so I've been involved with the entertainment industry, and that passion of mine started when I was a child. I have early recollections of being in 2nd grade, acting a fool in class, and it just never stopped.
Were you a class clown in high school?
Yeah, pretty much. Did all the drama, the high school plays and whatnot, and when I graduated, I got involved with the agency that I was with, and went out and secured roles on television shows like Midnight Caller with Gary Cole, and Nash Bridges with Don Johnson, America's Most Wanted. Bunch of regional commercials, industrials, voiceovers, print work.
Oh, wow.
But the work I'm most proud of would be with Kaiser Permanente, and that's a big HMO in California
Oh yes,
and
yeah,
some
it
other
is.
states too.
So you did industrial acting and,
Well,
and
with
directing?
Kaiser, what's really unique about the Kaiser program, it's an HMO,
Yeah.
but they have a professional theater company within the HMO.
You gotta
And
be
so,
kidding me.
Yeah, they call it preventive medicine. Getting out to schools, doing
Oh, wonderful.
educational shows about peer pressure, bullying, HIV and AIDS, puberty, things of that nature.
Well, why aren't they doing that back here?
Well, I just may very well start one.
Well,
So-
I'm telling you, like a public, through the public health departments
Mm-hmm.
and they do all these things for public health
Yeah.
in the Boston area. I know they're doing a big, quit smoking campaign in Boston. You can get the
Those
patch.
are always good. Yeah.
Right. Well, they're always good, but my thing is, I don't know why they didn't regionalize it more.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know either. Because I know the power of it. It's
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand. I was with Kaiser, the touring company, for 10 years.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
I started
great.
out as a performer educator, which is an actor, and you go out and do shows, and it's
Yeah.
not the dress up like a toothbrush kind of a show, and
No, I would
sing
imagine
a
not.
song and dance.
Right,
it was
right.
pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
And we'd go to schools all throughout California and making an impact and a difference in young people's lives. I mean,
Oh, that's great.
one show I was involved in was called Nightmare on Puberty Street. And,
Wait,
all the-
wait. I
yeah.
think some of my children went through that.
all the wonderful joys of adolescent development.
Oh, my
I'll never
gosh.
forget my very first red light. And a red light is when a young child after the show comes up to one of the actors and reveals
says
something
something. Oh.
that's very sensitive of nature. And
Right.
I'll never forget that, and that was just one of many examples in the 10 years that I was with them. So out of the work that I've done, which is a little bit of everything, because as you know, with entertainment, because I know you're a performer as well.
Well,
an
I try.
amazing one. Oh, come on, you do more than that. You bring it. But when you're trying to make a living with it, you need to be versatile. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I do a little bit of everything, because it's really difficult to make a living off one thing unless you're
Right.
lucky, and you just
Yeah.
never know where those stars are going to align.
That's
to make
right.
That happen.
That's right. That's right. And sometimes it's a matter of being in the right place at the right time.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
And being prepared for the moment of opportunity.
And I've always wondered this because as you said, I do a little bit of few things here and there and what have you, but I've always thought that there's kind of a class system, I'm sure, in whether it's theater, legit theater, the Broadway, or whether you're on Broadway or off Broadway, or you're off Broadway, or you're a regional professional actor. And to me, to be able to work in your craft, no matter what the position,
Yeah.
would be just the best thing since sliced bread. I
Oh,
mean,
it
it would be
is.
so wonderful. And to think that what you were doing, you were actually helping other folks, and you were guiding young lives to maybe make better decisions instead of the
Yeah.
wrong decision. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool,
Thank
and it's
you.
heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
it
very
was.
heavy stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, Melinda, out of all the gigs I've done, and I've been blessed to have a nice career. I'm not rich or famous. And
You're going
it's-
to be, though, but we'll talk about that.
I don't know about
I
that. We'll
predict.
see. But like I said, out of all the gigs I've done, my work with Kaiser Permanente's educational theater program will always remain in this sacred place in my heart because of the immediate impact on young people.
And they don't have anything like that here through
Nothing
Blue.
remotely in the vicinity of the quality
Of
that
that.
I was
Wow.
exposed to.
That's
And
great.
I worked my way up to a director/program coordinator.
Oh, wonderful.
So the last 5 years, I rewrote Nightmare on Puberty Street.
Yeah.
And then I rewrote another show called Peace Signs, which is a violence prevention show for
Oh,
grades
wow.
4 through 6.
Oh, great.
And I hired the actors, trained them, directed them,
Mm-hmm.
and launched the shows. And here I am now in beautiful Sandwich.
Beautiful
sitting
downtown
by
Sandwich is where
Shawnee
we're sitting,
Pond.
by the pond.
Yeah.
Right. You couldn't get more beautiful than
Oh,
this.
it's perfect.
I mean, I every season, and that's why I like seasons. And
Oh, I
actually,
do
my
too.
family lives in a lot of my family lives in California.
I
and,
didn't know that.
and have lived there for many, many years. And we moved the opposite direction, which might say something about my husband. I'm not quite sure.
Now, do they
And
live
my
in
fam-
Livermore? Is that where they-
No, actually, they live in Danville.
Oh, Danville.
Well,
not
it's
too
just
far.
not too far,
Yeah,
close to Walnut
beautiful.
Creek. Yeah, gorgeous, very upscale community.
Oh, it is.
Yes,
yeah.
very upscale. Lots of fancy cars there, I'll
Yeah,
tell you. But it's every day is the same.
Yeah.
And it's funny talking to the people, and I don't mean to put a damper on people who live in California. I mean, obviously there are great people that live out there.
Oh, yeah.
I have some other friends that also live in the LA area and quite successful. But it's just a different mindset.
It is.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You
but
know?
At the same time.
People are people, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, in my experience with this tremendous move of over 3,000 miles, I've discovered that pretty much what you just said. People are pretty much people.
Right.
There's the ones that are a little more challenging,
Yes,
and
well,
the ones that are just really just open and
that's
friendly
some of my
and-
relatives out there. Ay, 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 ay.
And mine too, I guess.
I won't go into the one that carries a gun in her purse. I'm not
Oh,
going to
dear
go
Lord.
there. This is very scary. Anyway, however, so you've moved here now, and I know you got two kids, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Skylar, he's 11, and McKenna,
That's right.
she's 9.
That's right.
And I'm so
Well,
proud of them.
I see the pictures on Facebook
Yeah.
when you're
Oh.
fishing and stuff.
Yeah,
That was
either
just great.
fishing or posting food.
Yeah.
My family. I'm a big foodie.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the other person that moved out here with you is somebody who's pretty important, who has the most beautiful name I've ever heard.
Melinda Lasit. Yeah,
Yes,
my
Melinda
wife.
Lasit.
My Melinda.
Yeah, Melinda, right.
My second Melinda.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And she, does she teach?
Yes, she does. She's an amazing educator. She's been involved with music her entire life, practically. She was trained with the San Francisco Girls Choir in San Francisco. Her degrees and background is in the music profession as well. And she got hired a year after our move here at Forestdale.
Oh,
and
wow.
so she's been making a huge
So is she the music
impact.
teacher there?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, wow.
K through 8.
K
is
through
her,
8.
Her grades. that
Well,
she
that's
teaches.
wonderful.
Yeah, I'm so
That's
proud
great.
of her.
And didn't she did a show choir, tried to put one together, is working on it?
Actually, yes. Well, together in California, in addition to me working with the
Uh-huh.
touring group, I used to work with my wife in her show choir.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like Glee. It's just, we were
Yeah.
Glee before there was a Glee. And I'm
That's
proud
good.
of that. And matter of fact, when we were touring 14 years ago, we would go to competitions and the judges wouldn't know how to judge us because at the end of a performance they would say,
Huh?
we've never seen anything like this. It's not a traditional choir. You're not in robes. You're
Right.
singing and dancing and acting. And they were like, what do I do with you? So
Yeah.
we did that together for about 14 years. And she started with one choir at the high school with
Mm-hmm.
2 boys.
Yeah.
And when we left, we had 200 students and jockeys to people on the chess club
Oh,
and
that's
all
great.
walks of life.
That's
you know,
great. That's
and,
great.
An award-winning group as well. So we thought, since we're here in Sandwich,
Sure.
why not get something activated with show choir, especially
Sure.
with the success of Glee.
Sure.
And so this year she made it happen. So we have our first show choir. We've had already 6 rehearsals.
Great.
And it's a great bunch of kids.
And what's the age range?
Oh, I'd say
grade-wise?
grades 9 through 12.
Oh, that's
and,
great.
they range from going to Sturgis to Sandwich High School, and there's another high school that I forget. I'm still
Mashpee or?
possibly, but
Yeah.
they're spread out from different high schools to make one choir.
Oh, that's great.
And we're still kind of deciding on a name, but I think it might be Sandwich Soul.
Oh, nice.
Now, don't
nice.
quote me on that
Yeah.
yet, but I
Well,
think that's
though,
what
if
the
they came
kids
from
are
all
liking.
over Cape Cod, maybe it should be Cape Cod Soul.
Cape Cod Soul. Ooh, I like that. I'll present that to the group.
Well, and the
see what
thing
they
is,
think.
too, it could also be a fish.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Ba-dum-bum.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Well,
I
the
just,
kids-
you left yourself open to
Well,
it,
the kids
Kevin.
want it to be called BLT,
BLT.
The Sandwich BLT,
BLT.
you know, with
Okay,
extra
there we go.
mayo and mayonnaise.
There
or
we go.
Mustard.
Or something.
Yeah.
So now that you're here and she's teaching and you got the show choir going, I know you're doing a lot of other things. I know you have a television show on Sandwich
Yeah.
Public Access
Yeah, it's
as
called
well.
the Actors Studio of Cape Cod. I'm currently working on the 4th episode. I'm not cranking them out like you. I mean,
Well,
my gosh.
you know me, I have nothing else to do.
No, but you got some great shows. I especially love the Daniel Webster one.
Oh,
I
yes.
used to work there.
Oh, you did?
My first 2 months of living here. Was
Is
my
that
first
right?
Employment.
Oh, is that right?
And
Is
that
that
always
funny?
have a real special place in my heart.
Is that
Good
right?
group
Yes.
of people.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
But
Katana's
yeah,
great family.
my show's called The Actors Studio of Cape Cod. It focuses on the process of acting, and I teach the acting classes, and so I
Right.
invite some of my students to participate in the show and have them talk about their process with acting.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I know I've taken your class. I learned so much from it. Because I've done so many things in front of live audiences, I learned
Yeah.
that less is more sometimes,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
And the one good thing about film is it's the subtle nuances. And I think when we all go to a movie, my husband and I went to see Moneyball.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
great movie, great script.
It is, and actually they had the writer of the book was on Jon Stewart, and he said, I looked at this book, this will never be a movie. After he wrote it, he said, this will never work.
Wow.
And then they redid, obviously, the screenplay, and
Yeah.
it became a fabulous movie. But what I noticed in it was, in the direction by Brad Pitt, was not only the cinematography, but the nuances
Yeah.
to bring in all the feeling of, here's this poor lowly team that just can't get their act together, and they have no money, and
Yeah.
they're playing against the big guys, and so it just sucks you into
It
rooting
does.
for the
The underdog.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
interesting, is just that comment about the author of the book explaining that he thought it could never make a movie, but you just explained it so well right there of why it is so successful. And with cinema, all you have to do is strip it down to its core, and that's human connection.
Yeah.
So Brad Pitt's character, what's he dealing with? Well, he comes from a broken marriage. Obviously, he's career orientated and
Right,
goal oriented,
right.
so it's had an impact on his marriage, his
Right,
failed marriage.
right.
He's a father. He's trying to juggle being a good dad to his daughter, and he
Right.
feels torn with that. He happens to be the manager of the A's, which they're declining and
Right.
not doing so well. So, man, it's no wonder why you feel so bad for him.
I know.
because He's got so many strikes, no pun
Right.
intended, against him, and we just want to see him succeed. But out of all the gigs, that I've seen Brad Pitt in, and I'm kind of lukewarm with Brad Pitt. He either works for me or sometimes
No, I
he
don't
doesn't,
disagree with you.
But
Sometimes he
this
looks like he
one-
needs to be scrubbed up. He just needs to be clean.
But this one, I really liked his choices. I liked
Yeah.
his subtlety. I liked his vulnerability.
Yes, yes.
He really pulled my heartstrings in this
Yes,
movie.
yes, and
And
his
I-
silences
There you go. Yeah.
were just wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And as you know, I'm big on silence. It's because
I-
that
you
creates
are.
that creates atmosphere.
Which I had a real problem with. We won't go there
Oh,
either.
no, not just you. A lot of actors do, because they feel like, my gosh, the scene's dying. I got to plow through this. But
Yeah.
then ultimately, you find humanity
Right.
within the silence.
Right.
And
right.
so when we rush through those moments, we rush through humanity.
Well, now I know that you just came back from California.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or are you afraid
Sure.
you'll jinx yourself?
Oh no, I'm very proud.
You're beyond jinxing now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if anything can jinx this right now, but so what? Long story short,
Yeah.
I'm also, talking about versatility.
Uh-huh.
One of the other things I do in the arts is screenwrite. So I've written about 4 screenplays, and one in particular is doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
And about 2 years ago, I made contact with a pretty well-known producer by the name of Brian Frankus, and he produced movies like Field of Dreams,
Oh wow.
Boy Could Fly,
Wow. I
Righteous.
love The Boy Who Could Fly.
Yeah,
I love that
yeah,
movie.
me too.
I
Yeah,
love that
Jay
movie.
Underwood, and
Yeah.
it's so interesting because Jay Underwood, who was the lead boy in that, he went to a school in Hayward, California.
Really?
And I remember when he made it, he was like my hero, because I was like, someday I want to see my name on that screen. And so here it is. It's to see
Yeah.
how it connects. I'm working with the producer of that
Oh, that's
movie.
amazing.
So anyway, Brian got a hold of the script. He fell in love with the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantasy adventure called Wishland, and it's kind of a hybrid of a Lord of the Rings meets Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe meets Bridge to Terabithia.
Okay.
And it's my own fantasy world that I created, and it took
Yeah.
about 11 years to write.
Wow.
And
Did you have a co-writer, or
no,
did you
this
do
is all
solo?
written on my own. And but I wasn't writing consistently throughout those 11 years. I took a
Right.
break from it for a while,
Uh-huh.
because the earlier drafts, the first 5, I felt myself just hitting the brick wall with the story. I had a great idea, but an idea is so not a story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided, well, what happened was I knew what I wanted to say about mortality,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't know what I wanted to say about fatherhood. And so, because
You have to be one for a while.
Exactly. So I made a conscious choice to put it aside in the back burner and become a father. And I picked it up again in 2006. When
It's a good thing your wife went along with that.
Yeah, that's true. She was a part of that too. And lo and behold, it wasn't called Wishland originally. It was the original title was called Living Legacy. And the night before, I had my first writing session for the rewrite, which I was dreading, by the way, because I had no idea how to approach the rewrite. I'm snuggling with my son at night, and he asked me this question. He says, "Daddy, where do all of our dreams go and wishes go?" And I said,
Really?
"Well, that's a good question, Sky. I don't know. Maybe a faraway land. Maybe Wishland." And I went, "Oh my God. Thank you." And so I made the conscious choice to grow as a father. Then my son helped me find the title. And,
that's wonderful.
And
Beautiful
here
story.
it is, 28 drafts later. I just came back from Los Angeles in early September, and I met Brian Francis at his house. And I was there for 6 hours.
Wow.
He read the script to me from page 1 to 120. And he wasn't reading it though. He was actually visualizing and seeing the movie unfold before his eyes.
And he took you to lunch too? Did he buy?
Yes, he did.
Thank
with
you,
his
Lord.
wife. And what's
wow.
so crazy is, I have memories of going to Los Angeles and walking down Hollywood Boulevard, holding my mother's hand as a child. And then I also have memories as a young adult, and I lived there for a while too.
Sure.
And I would always look out at that vast city of Los Angeles and ask myself, what's going on right now in this town that I'm not a part of? And I want to be a part of the industry so badly, and what am I missing out on? And then here I was, driving down Hollywood Boulevard, going to Brian Francis's home to talk about a movie I wrote. So it was a very surreal, proud moment in my career. And I have no idea where it will go at this point. Long story short, because it was 6 hours, it was a very intense meeting in his home, in his office, surrounded by posters of all the movies he's done. It was a
little intimidating, I bet.
A little intimidating, but just a proud moment for me. But where we left off was I came back from California with a ton of notes for another rewrite. So I made those adjustments, made the 28th draft, sent it via email back to Brian, and he sent it off to a director. And I don't think I'll mention any directors
No, don't jinx.
Yeah, but
no jinxing.
Let me just say this. The director has agreed to read it.
Great.
And Brian, after he emailed the script to the director, went on a little vacation with his wife to Hawaii, and he returns October 7th, which is this Friday. So they're going to have a powwow discussion and then fill me in what the next step will be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
that's where we're at.
Well, that is very exciting. And isn't it funny though? I mean, now I think this is kind of cosmic or karma or something. You pulled yourself out of the area where most people flock to if they want to do, brought yourself out of it to a quiet place, very bucolic, very beautiful.
Yes.
And we do have certainly some both fine community theater, and 50 miles up the road we probably have we have terrific regional theater in the Boston area, along with professional. We all know movies are being made here because
the tax incentives.
Yeah, all the tax incentives and what have you. But it's not like LA.
No, it's not.
And yet that's now all of a sudden because of that you're here. Maybe that just brought in a different whole process for you. Do you think?
It's interesting. I think for me and my wife, how we approach life is every year we make an assessment as far as what's working, what could we improve on, what do we need more of, less of, and we do these assessments, and that's what ultimately brought us here, because we were craving more family time, slowing things down. And I'll be honest, when we left, I told Melinda I was going to walk away from the industry because I knew it was what could be offered out here as far as the living.
Right.
And we come out here, 2 months later, I'm working with, at the time, Plymouth Rock Studios.
Right. Now, and they are, am I misunderstanding that there may be still some salvaging of that?
Yes, yeah, it's reshaping, redesigning the whole thing. The old Plymouth Rock Studios is
gone.
Is gone, and so it's down to one executive as well. So I know a lot of people have heard a lot of different things.
Right.
It's not going to happen. It is going to happen. But this is what I know, and I used to work with them for a year and 3 months.
Sure.
There's one executive left. His name's Joe DiLorenzo, and he is spearheading the whole project now. And it is not going to be the same studio proposal as what David Kirkpatrick and Earl Letts proposed.
Right,
back
which was
in the day.
huge.
14 sound stages.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it was
hotel and
crazy.
whatnot.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot more modest, and maybe 2 sound stages to start with.
Right.
But here's the thing: I have a few students that are shareholders in the studio system.
Sure, sure.
And they had a shareholders meeting a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And it still looks like it's going to happen. So
Wow.
they're working on a loan right now, and
Wow.
they're just waiting to hear the approval right now. So
Wow.
that's what I know. Of
Now,
course,
did the
anything can happen.
right, of course,
with
and
the
we know
economy.
where the economy the way
But
it
they
is,
haven't given up.
and I would think the state would be really wanting this to happen because it's employment.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And, you know, and,
I mean-
and you bring up a good point. And when she says, you know, employment, we're not just talking for actors here. We're talking, you know, receptionists. We're talking janitorial staff, gardening.
Right.
And, you know, to run the offices.
Sure,
so
sure.
everyday practical
the tech
jobs.
folks, the carpenters.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
I mean, there's a lot of people that get involved in this, and I don't think anybody understands how much money it can bring to an area.
Oh, yeah.
Although you could ask Osterville, because the movie that was shot in Osterville.
Oh, yeah, I
this
Hate You,
last
Dad.
I Hate You, Dad,
With
and what it
Adam
did,
Sandler.
right, and in Dennis, was incredible
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
merchants
the local
and to
merchants,
and
the restaurants. And
everybody.
Yeah.
So we should keep our fingers crossed. Make sure. I hope it
please
happens.
do. You know, so it's funny. You know,
I could be a receptionist.
There you go. I mean, and who knows?
I could
Maybe
audition for a reception.
a day player role. You know,
There we
the
go.
under
There we
5
go.
characters.
There we go.
But it's interesting. You know, the thing with Plymouth Rock Studios is, you know, I always hear two philosophies with it. People either hate
Yeah.
it or they love it. And the way I look at it is, what's not to love if it does happen?
If it
Because
works.
it's going to win. It's a be a win-win for everyone.
That's it. You're absolutely right.
There are
Think
2 other
positive.
studios that are going to be popping up as well. One in Weymouth.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
the name of it, but
Right, at the
they
at a
haven't given
base,
up.
at the old base,
Exactly.
right?
They haven't
Yeah,
given up yet.
right.
They're really below the radar. They don't do a lot of press,
Right.
but they're still moving forward. And there's a new one in Devon, which is another
Old base, yeah. It used to be
yes.
an Air Force base,
And
I think.
they had an article in a newspaper not too long ago, this past summer, and so they're making ground too.
That's great.
So, you know, with the tax incentives, with that
Right,
in place, and
right.
those 3 studios, anything is possible.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting to me, too. At one time, you know, the Christmas tree shops, before they were sold to Bed Bath & Beyond, they had
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge warehouse here. And that warehouse then moved off Cape, but the building was here.
The
and
structures,
the
yeah.
structure. And I had talked to, it was at the time, I can't remember even who it was, about, they were at the community college in the theater department and the film department there at the community college, and had said that there had been people had been interested in making that into, because it was such a huge building,
Wow.
a soundstage. And
Yeah.
I thought how fabulous that would have been.
Yeah.
It didn't transpire for various reasons, but you know, again, I think sometimes local communities, locales, the town fathers are a little short-sighted.
Yeah,
and
I
not
think it might
open
be
enough, you
just
know.
lack of knowledge or information.
Right, I
and
think you're right.
They think it might bring a lot of Hollywood types, but
Yeah.
it's going to just create work.
Right,
I mean,
it's called work.
And I was working with Plymouth Rock Studios for a year and a half, and it was
Yeah.
wonderful. If I didn't have that job, and remember, we just moved here.
Right,
You
right.
know, for over 3,000 miles, I had no idea what I was going to do.
Right.
I was getting back to the question. I was going
Yeah.
to reshape my life, and I was open to anything.
Sure.
And I think because of that openness, that the universe said, "Okay, Kevin, here's an opportunity."
Yeah, go for it.
Because it wasn't. I didn't move here because of the studio.
Yeah, right.
I
So-
moved here for the quality of life.
So really what happened was you opened yourself up, it kind of fell in your lap, and now you have all other kinds of connections.
And then more opportunities present themselves.
Right.
At the same time, it's always me being aware of the opportunity than me pursuing it.
Sure.
Because it's not going to come knocking at your door. It has to.
Yeah, right.
Meet you half. You have
Right.
to meet it halfway.
Right, right.
But it's been an amazing journey.
That's
the
great.
last 3 years of my
That's
life.
great. Well, if it makes you feel any better, 32 years ago this past August, 32 years ago this past August,
32.
my husband and myself and 3 small children moved to Cape Cod with no jobs or anything.
Wow.
So
you're in the
same thing,
boat.
same boat, and
Yeah,
guess what?
Look at you, girl.
We made it.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And we're even still married. That's amazing. oh my God, he's going to see this and he's going to go, Melinda. Anyway,
He's all, thanks, honey.
yeah, thanks, honey, a lot.
When do I get to be
but
on
we're
your
both
show? No.
we're both doing what we like to do. He's an artist, and I get to do fun
didn't
things
know
like
that.
this. Yeah,
Wonderful.
he's a
What's
watercolorist.
his medium? Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, watercolor. Yes.
Nice.
But anyway, I just want to thank you for today. It's been a delight. We could actually probably talk for another hour and a half. It seems quick.
It was too easy.
But I know it
love
is
talking
easy.
with you.
But it's, I took your class. I recommend anybody, if you just want to get some self-confidence, take the class.
And I also have screenwriting classes as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
if anyone has an idea for a movie or a story,
Right.
you think something might be interesting for film, come see me.
Yeah, and he's really easy to work with, and he's so nice. You never say anything mean to people. I mean, you could have said a lot of mean things to me, but you didn't. So.
Well, you know, I believe in fostering a safe environment for people to make safe choices, and sometimes risky choices. But if you don't create that safe environment, no one's going to make any choice at all. And ultimately, what I've discovered, you know, in some of these intense professional auditions, the audition becomes about the casting director. And so the field is very intense, but a classroom I think should be very inviting and welcoming.
Yeah.
But can you talk really quick about your show you directed?
Yes, I did. I directed I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
How
at
was
Kituitt
that?
Center. We sold out 12 performances.
Yes.
It was great. It was wonderful. And I used some of your methods that I learned in your acting class.
Nice.
And I had one person who hadn't been on stage for 30 years.
Wow.
And he was fabulous, and he ended up being the star of the show in a sense. It was an ensemble cast, but he did such a great job. But one of the things they said to me was that I guided them.
Yeah.
I let them know what I wanted in no uncertain terms, but yet I let them feel safe enough to go and do their work.
To discover it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. I hope soon.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
one day I can play with you and you could direct me.
I'd love to do that. That'd be fun. All righty. Kevin Lasit.
Oh, give me a hug.
Thank you so much. This was great
Anytime.
fun.
Thank you.
And it couldn't be a more beautiful day
No, we
here on
lucked
Cape
out.
Cod. That's right.
should
Well, we
have
didn't
lucked
luck out.
Yeah.
We're smart.
There
We
you
moved
go.
here.
It was
See, the
planned.
rest of these people were born here.
Yeah.
Whew, easy.
Yeah, we're
We had to
we're the
move
coolest
here.
wash ashores
We
ever.
are. We are the best.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you.
You
Take
too,
care,
sweetheart.
kiddo. Wasn't Kevin Lasit terrific? Oh my gosh, he is such an interesting guy. And it was so wonderful to hear about how he came here and his family and his lovely wife, Melinda. And she's a great teacher at Forestdale School doing wonderful things with the kids. It was just a joy to talk with him. And I hope you all learned something about how important the cultural arts are, not only to our local community, but also to the region and to the state. It brings a lot of money in here, and we should all keep that in mind. In any case, I'm just so glad you were here today to join me on Cape Conversations.